Hello everyone, this is David, Fairly Secret Music. Today I decided to do a video about a cool buy that I did. I found somebody on the Facebook Marketplace that was local that was selling a couple CDs that I knew Metal Mickey was looking for, or at least the studio album was. So I will be showing that because he already knows it's coming. And when I got there, he had those two sitting there for me, and I asked him if I could see the other stuff that he was selling, and he was kind enough to let me see the stuff. And I ended up getting 13 extra CDs. He was selling them all for $1, so I thought, you know what? I will get a bunch of them. One, I have the 2-disc version of Gary Newman's replicas. Well, he was in Tubeway Army at the time. I asked Barb if she wanted to have this for a car copy to listen to, and that was frowned upon. So, oh well. It doesn't have cars on it, though. Berlin, Pleasure Victim. I only have ever had a Berlin best of, so I thought this is a pretty decent time to get some Berlin. Berlin Voyeur. Count 3 and Pray by Berlin. Love Life by Berlin. And I thought, well, if I'm getting Berlin stuff, I should get this Terry Nunn solo album, Moment of Truth. And every once in a while I get into like new wave and the 80s kind of sounding stuff. Which is good because he also had the remastered version of Soft Cell's Non-Stop Erotic Cabaret, which has Tainted Love on it. Mr. The Real World, Welcome to the Real World, which has Pat Mastelotto, who is now the drummer of King Crimson. He has been since like the mid-90s. I should have already had this, but every time I'd seen it for a decent price, I just wasn't in the mood, and I kind of wanted to listen to Broken Wings, so. The Warrior on this album has been living rent-free in my head since I showed this to Barb. This is Scandal. Balaam and the Angels. I know they're kind of like a cross between Cult and a goth band. I don't know if I've ever listened to these guys, but I figured, oh well, I'll give him a shot. He did have some psychedelic furs, but I passed on those. Ain't No Jive Live by Bang Tango. And Bang Tango Psychic Cafe. So, which ones were they that Metal Mickey needed? He needed this one. He said he was willing to buy it on vinyl, but he wanted on CD more than that, and said it was always expensive. So I figured for $1 I'd go get it for him. We'll figure out how to send it to him, because from Minnesota to England is not cheap. But if I get a few other CDs that he's looking for, then maybe then it'll be worth it. Oh, and my job stuff is looking up, so if my interview goes well tomorrow, then I'll maybe be able to afford sending stuff. I did not have Kingdom Come stuff. I had Hands of Time by Kingdom Come, which is very good if you have not heard it. But I didn't have the first one or their second album, which is called In Your Face. So say their band name and then the album title, and that's pretty funny. And I did not have Winger. I have seen the second album used a lot and Pull for at least $9 or something like that. I think I might have to get those two if I actually want Pull already, but not for $9 yet. But I figured might as well get Winger. It's $1. And yeah, that's it. All of those for $15. So if anybody is interested in that Gary Newman, let me know. Um, and one other thing that I wanted to talk about. Well, wait, let's talk about this. I went to see Queensryche with Fate's Warning on Saturday, and that was an amazing show. If you have a chance to see it, go to it. I didn't see it at the best venue, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. They have a weird seating arrangement and where people can stand and stuff. Of course, everybody is inconsiderate at shows, so they will stand right in front of you when you're sitting down watching a show. Yeah, it's a weird place where you have to sit down in some spots and stuff like that. Um, but Todd just nailed the song Queen of the Reich. Just amazing. And he said he was fighting a cold, so I thought that was pretty awesome that he was able to hit all of those notes while fighting a cold. Fate's Warning sounded really good, except for the drums were kind of muddy. Same with the bass. I've noticed that sometimes opening acts get worse sound than the main act, and that always irritates me. But that was the second time I saw Fate's Warning. It was the first time I saw Queensryche. And that day I had watched King Diamond, Songs for the Dead, and I highly recommend watching that, especially the second DVD from Philadelphia. That performance is amazing. The other one is really good too, but everything sounds just awesome. I can tell that there's probably some post like studio manipulation or overdubs and stuff. Maybe not, but it sounded so good. And the last thing I want to talk about is I know Darcy, you have said you don't like the term hair metal, but I watched a video today of a guy saying he was offended by the term hair metal. That is a non-issue. People should not be offended by the term hair metal. You say hair metal, you know exactly what genre I'm talking about, what style of music. It's not belittling their abilities or making fun of anybody who listens to hair metal. I have like 450 CDs that basically I have in a hair metal section, and it's just a non-issue. People getting offended by the term hair metal. It's blowing everything out of proportion, and it's silly to me. I'm going to keep calling it hair metal. Or if you like, we could call it cock rock. I mean, look at this. If you look at this band, look at that band. Look at all the hair right there. They're hair metal. It's not a derogatory term. It's not towards a race, gender, or sexuality, or anything that can be offensive. It's silly to be offended by the term hair metal. And yeah, so I commented on the thing, and then just a half an hour ago or so, I decided, you know what? I don't want to argue with people about this because it really is a non-issue, and I just deleted all my comments, and I'm just like, I don't follow that person anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me if he's going to make a big deal about the term hair metal, because I don't care. It is hair metal. He calls it hair metal several times in the video too, so oh well. Hair metal. I love hair metal.